Welcome to Things You Don't Know. I'm here with Dr. Deneen and Chandler Foster. Today we're talking about mirrors. Yeah, really. But we should say right away that mirror can mean a whole bunch of different
That's
things, right, Chandler?
exactly right, Dr. Weaver. We're not always talking about the modern bathroom mirror, a flat glass with a shiny backing, are we, Dr. Deneen?
No, you're exactly right, we're not. In this episode, we'll move through different kinds of mirrors: reflections in water, polished obsidian, polished metal, glass mirrors, scientific mirrors that can figure out mysteries in space, and finally, the mirror as a symbol of self image.
Yeah, a mirror is a simple idea, something that reflects an image, right? But the history behind that idea is really kind of quirky and surprisingly
Because
deep.
mirrors are about more than just checking your hair. They connect to magic, religion, beauty, science, superstition, and identity.
Whoa. Yeah. And we're going to dive into all of those. Right,
We
Dr.
sure are.
Deneen?
And ladies and gentlemen, for much of human history, seeing your own face clearly was unusual. Today we see ourselves constantly: mirrors and cell phones and cameras and video calls. But ancient peoples often saw themselves only in water, polished stone, or metal.
Yep. So mirrors changed how people saw themselves, literally and
So,
psychologically.
in short, today's episode is about how humans learned to stare back at themselves.
Oh, wow. That's a way to put it.
Well,
Yes.
Dr. Weaver, before there were manufactured mirrors, the first mirror was probably still water.
Yeah. Still water, a pond, a bowl, a calm river, anything smooth enough to
But
reflect a
that
face.
kind of mirror was unstable. One ripple could break the image. The reflection appeared, moved, distorted, and vanished.
And that must have made reflections feel almost magical. You see a second version of yourself, but you can't touch it.
Whoa, that is psychologically powerful. A reflection looks like you, but it is not you. That may help explain why mirrors later became connected to souls, spirits, and hidden
So when
truth.
we say mirror at this stage, folks, we mean a natural reflective surface, mostly water, not a created made object.
The mirror begins as wonder.
You're absolutely right, Chandler. And one of the earliest types of manufactured mirrors was the obsidian mirror.
Obsidian is volcanic glass, right, Dr. Deneen?
Yes, that's right. It forms when lava cools quickly. When polished, obsidian can reflect an image.
Yes, but this is not a bright modern mirror. An obsidian mirror gives a dark, shadowy reflection.
Oh, which honestly, Dr. Weaver, that sounds more mysterious than useful.
Well, it was useful. It could also be symbolic. Obsidian mirrors appeared in various ancient cultures, including parts of Anatolia and later Mesoamerica.
Hmm. In Mesoamerica, obsidian was important for tools, weapons, ritual objects, and mirrors. Yeah, a polished black mirror could suggest hidden knowledge or spiritual sight.
So here, when we say mirror, we mean a polished stone mirror, dark, reflective, and probably impressive to anyone who had never seen one before.
Yeah, imagine seeing your face appear inside a volcanic stone. That could easily feel like more. and just
To
a
people
grooming
of
tool,
that
huh?
time, I think it would have seemed mystical. That is one reason
Yep.
mirrors became associated with divination and magic, not just seeing the face,
Mm.
but seeing beyond the ordinary world.
Now, I want to turn our attention now to polished metal mirrors.
Good idea,
All
Chandler.
right, Dr. Weaver. Now, after stone mirrors came polished metal mirrors.
Yes, many ancient societies used copper, bronze, silver, or other metals that were polished until they reflected light.
Again, we should define the kind of mirror. A polished metal mirror is not glass. It is a metal surface made smooth and shiny enough to show an image.
That's exactly right, Dr. Weaver, but not always a perfect image.
You're correct, Chandler. The reflection could be dim or distorted, but it was still valuable. Good metal mirrors took skill to make and more skill to maintain.
Yeah, that made them status objects. A mirror was not only useful, it could show wealth, rank, and refinement.
So a mirror became part technology, part jewelry, part social symbol.
Exactly, Chandler. Ancient Egyptian, Greek, Roman, and Chinese cultures, just to mention a few among many others, used hand mirrors, often with decorated backs or carved handles.
And once people had better mirrors, they could manage appearance more carefully. Hair, clothing, cosmetics, skin, and posture. And I just want to add here that we do make some slight reference to that in our issues about Native American contributions, because they also use these, especially obsidian mirrors.
Absolutely. And basically, Dr. Weaver, what you're saying is the mirror helped people prepare the face that they showed to the whole wide world.
That is the best way to say it. Mirrors helped create the public self.
Now, let's move on to the glass mirror, which is clearer, brighter, and more expensive. So we come to the glass mirror now, and which is closer to what we use today.
So when we say glass mirror, we mean glass with some reflective backing, right, Dr. Deneen?
Yes, that's right, Chandler. The basic idea is a glass surface backed by a reflective metal layer. Early versions were difficult to make and often very expensive.
Yeah, a glass mirror changed the experience of self seeing. It gave a clearer, brighter, more stable reflection than polished metal.
And that made it valuable.
Very valuable. Venice, especially Murano, became famous for fine glass and luxury mirrors. Venetian mirror making was so important that the secrets of production were controlled by a guild and closely guarded.
How closely guarded were they, Dr. Deneen?
Very, almost like atomic weapons today. Glass makers were moved to Murano precisely because of the fire danger from furnaces, but also because Venice wanted to control its trade secrets and its monopoly. Some accounts, most notably John J. Robinson's Dungeon Fire and Sword, say glass makers were forbidden to leave, and punishments for revealing such secrets could include imprisonment, heavy fines, or even death.
So mirror making wasn't just art, it was big and, may I say, risky business.
And state power and maybe something else.
Exactly, Dr. Weaver. A fine Venetian mirror was the Lexus of its day, a luxury item. It was technology, wealth, trade, secrecy, and beauty all wrapped up in one object.
And that makes a mirror sound almost like a controlled weapon of elegance.
Oh, that's a pretty dramatic phrase.
I think so too, but it's the only way I knew how to put it.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong. Clear mirrors gave people a sharper image of themselves. For centuries, That clarity was a privilege.
Oh, now here's something interesting I really want to talk about. I want to talk about superstition,
Aha.
souls, spirits, and bad luck. We have to talk about the superstition. We have to talk about this particular one. Why do people say that breaking a mirror will bring you 7 years of bad luck? Tell us about that, Dr. Deneen.
Sure, Chandler. The exact roots are complicated, but many mirror superstitions come from the idea that a person's reflection is connected to their soul, or what other societies would have called their life
Yeah,
force.
that makes sense psychologically. If your reflection looks like another version of you, damaging the mirror might feel like damaging something internal to yourself.
That's right. So a broken mirror becomes more than just broken glass. It becomes the broken image of the person.
Once again, Chandler, you're right. Mirrors were also connected to death customs, ghost stories, vampires. See our Dracula podcast for that, and divination magic. Some traditions, like Orthodox Judaism or Quakerism, covered mirrors after a death. Others imagine mirrors could trap spirits or reveal hidden things.
Notice that we are now talking about the mirror as a supernatural symbol. It may be a glass mirror, a metal mirror, or another reflective surface, but the meaning is symbolic. And I do want to add something in here. In certain Native American cultures, the mirror was used in a very, very special way. If you wanted to accuse another person of something, often they would say, do this to the mirror and talk to yourself. It's kind of a version of the biblical statement of be sure to remove the log from your eye before you take the splinter out of someone
Someone
else's.
else's.
Uh-huh. Isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting.
It's still in
Quite
some
so.
ceremonies, it's still used today.
And I think, Dr. Weaver, that explains why mirrors work so well in horror stories, too. They show a world like ours, except only it's reversed. They duplicate us. They make us wonder if something is looking back. I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Mm.
Chandler, that is true and a little
Oh, yeah.
scary. A mirror is familiar enough to be ordinary and strange enough to be frightening.
I wonder how the topic of mirrors is uh, dealt with by people that do not have vision, who have lost their eyesight. I think that that's a fascinating thing, and we probably should get into that at some point in time, not now, but sometime soon. You agree? So,
Yeah, that's actually
Sounds
a
quite
very
interesting.
fascinating topic there, Dr. Weaver, that we could definitely get into at a different time.
yeah, so mirrors are often blamed for vanity, but the issue is really a lot more complicated than that.
You're exactly right, Dr. Weaver, because using a mirror does not automatically make someone vain.
No, you know, correct. A mirror gives us access to our visible self. What we do with that access depends on culture, personality, and social pressure. I mean, it would be nice to be able to look in the mirror and say, "Oh, I got a booger hanging out my nose," um, and take care of it before somebody else sees it. Right?
Yeah,
Quite so. That leads into our next topic. Throughout history, mirrors were tied to grooming, cosmetics, clothing, manners, and class.
absolutely. So a mirror helped people ask, how do I look to other people?
Yeah, that can be healthy. Grooming can lead to self-respect, but it can also become an obsession.
Oh, so the mirror can either be a tool or a trap.
Yep, the mirror shows the face. Society often adds the judgment.
And different societies judged different things: pale skin, dark skin, long hair, short hair, youth, age, thinness, size, strength, modesty, wealth, and style.
The mirror reflects a face, but culture tells people what they are supposed to think about that face.
Whoa, that is so important. It's a really key point. Mirrors did not invent vanity, but they gave vanity a place to stand.
Now, let's change the meaning of mirror once again. In science, a mirror is a device for controlling light.
Not just a thing on the wall.
Right, Chandler. Scientific mirrors can be flat, they can be curved, tiny or enormous, visible or hidden inside machines, or even placed in telescopes.
Yes, the basic principle is reflection. Light hits a surface and bounces away at a predictable angle.
And that sounds simple, but it gives us telescopes, microscopes, cameras, lasers, solar equipment, and medical instruments.
Now, reflecting telescopes, ladies and gentlemen, are especially important. Instead of using only lenses, they use mirrors to both gather and focus light.
So mirrors helped humans see more than just themselves. They helped us see space.
Yeah, and that's probably surprising to many people that looking through a telescope, you're actually using mirrors too. The same basic idea that once helped a person see a face in polished stone now helps scientists and others study stars and galaxies.
So, to mirror's history, Dr. Weaver, goes from the human face to the entire universe.
Well, now, Dr. Deneen, that may be the biggest twist in this whole story here.
Well, and you know, for me, I got to get to the psychological mirror, right?
Of course, with you, Dr. Weaver, we'd have to, wouldn't we? So, this means that not just the object, but what it actually does to us, right?
Yeah, a modern glass mirror shows our appearance clearly, but it cannot show the whole person.
It cannot show some very important things. It cannot show courage, loyalty, intelligence, physical and emotional pain, memory, faith, humor, or kindness.
It shows the surface and lets us confuse that surface with ourself.
Whoa. Yes, exactly. That is one of the dangers of mirrors. They reveal, but they also reduce to surface.
And now we even have digital mirrors too. Selfies, filters, video calls, social media, cameras everywhere.
You know, Chandler, in the ancient world, a person might very rarely, if ever, see a clear image of himself. Today, many people see and unfortunately judge their image constantly.
Yeah, that changes self image. It can help with confidence and presentation, but it can also increase comparison and insecurity.
So the modern mirror is not just the bathroom mirror or the mirror that's on the wall, it's the phone screen too.
Yes, and the lesson is simple. A mirror can help us, but it should not decide our worth either to ourselves
It's
or to others.
quite true, Dr. Weaver. Mirrors show an image. It's very important to remember they do not show the full human being.
Maybe the best question is not only, how do I look?
But also, how am I living?
Today, we've followed the mirror through several forms: water reflections, obsidian mirrors, polished metal mirrors, glass mirrors, supernatural mirrors, scientific mirrors, and psychological mirrors.
And each type tells us something different. Some mirrors help people groom, some show status, some inspire fear, some help science, some shape self image.
The mirror is one of the simplest objects in daily life, but it carries thousands of years of history with it.
It reflects light, but it also reflects culture.
And next time you look in a mirror, remember you're not just looking at yourself, you're looking into one of humanity's oldest technologies.
Yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, share it with someone who enjoys the hidden history of everyday things.
And also leave us a comment. Tell us what ordinary object you'd like us to explore next.
Just try not to break any mirrors while typing. Wouldn't want to bring 7 years of bad luck into your life.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I knew that had to come.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for things you don't know, I'm Dr. Weber.
I'm Dr. Deneen.
And I'm Chandler Foster.
Adieu for now.
Au revoir.
Bye.